Welcome to Interviews with the Other Side. Well, pretty much it's going to be similar to what we were doing during the house clearing, except I'm going to be calling up and calling in certain individuals.
Mhm.
And I'm actually curious about the individual that came in during your last session, the one that had to do with beauty.
Okay.
So just to see if that individual is available, she better be available,
Mhm.
or else she's going to be in trouble. So anyway,
Mhm. Okay.
available?
Yes, I'm here. Of
Yeah,
course, I'm here.
yeah, that's her. All right. Okay. So I found our conversation quite interesting during the. I guess it was just the session, the clearing session. So how are you doing as one of my workers?
I'm doing quite well, I have to say. Yeah, it is
Mhm.
different than I expected. It took me quite a bit to adjust. It was not that easy because I was deep down in the business. But yeah, I'm feeling so much better than I've ever felt before.
Oh, well, that's good. That's good. Okay, we have some purging going on. Just making sure that someone else isn't trying to horn in on your interview real
Ah,
quick.
ah,
Okay, we
ah,
got somebody else. Okay, you hang in there, Miss Fashion. That's what I'm going to call you, and
ah.
or Miss Beauty, I should say, Miss Beauty. Okay,
I love that name.
you love your name, Miss Beauty?
Yes, it's what
Okay, well
represents
that's
me, it's what I was standing for. Mm.
okay. So who else is there trying to? Okay, okay, you can speak. Sounds like you're in
I
pain.
am here for the interview,
You're here for the
please.
interview.
Yes.
Sounds like you're here for the interview and you're here for the deal, huh?
Yes, for the
Okay.
deal. I've
So,
heard of it, yes.
yeah. So, as far as like doing an interview, what is it that you do
Mm.
that would be interesting for the interview?
I was slaughtering and torturing, consciousness and density for yin of
Oh,
yin. Yes.
so,
Like, most everyone was just doing it as, like, consciousness, but I would also torture, density if they were not listening to it. I was right under yin of yin. Like, he would give me straight up all the work to do. Yeah.
ah. So, what I'm going to do just to help you out, I'm going to give you the deal so that your communication will be a lot more comfortable for
Oh,
yourself and a
yes.
lot
Thank
easier
you.
for well, I understand you, but it'll be a lot easier. So I'm going to contain you.
Alrighty.
Okay,
Let's do
now.
this.
All right, so I'm going to give you the deal right now where
Okay.
you are.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and just so that you understand exactly what the deal is, you should be feeling a bit better, but I'm going to go ahead and give you those ropes. Give you the ropes of the deal.
Alrighty.
That's what the deal is. No deal need to give you the road of punishment since you're here for the deal and you seem to want to cooperate. Okay. So
Yes.
you sound a little better.
Yes, I feel better. Yes, thank you. Oh, that
Okay.
was yeah, that was
So
helpful.
so what you were saying was that you punished primarily dense entities, or did you punish those in human form as well, or you punished those densities that are inside of humans as well?
Like, my job was mainly the dense entities who were not listening, who were not staying in line, who thought they were bigger than they are, who got too arrogant, who got too
Mm,
cocky, who thought they could take like down everything and take on like the throne, like everyone who
mm,
was just not listening. So it was mainly dense entities.
okay.
But like I'm a bit ashamed to say that, but every once in a while when I felt like doing something else, I would also torture consciousness. Yeah.
Mm, mm. Okay,
But
well,
it was
before,
very rarely, like, my main focus was, like, the dense entity that was not listening. That
okay,
was not
but just before you go on, I'm going to tell Miss Beauty that I will get back to you in a few minutes. I'm just going to clarify a little bit with you. Do you have a name that you would like to go by, Mr. Torturer?
well, Mr. Torturer or Trotrus.
What is
Oh,
the
mm,
you? You're still hacking a little bit there. You seem
mm.
like you might have been close to Black Ooze, bub.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
You just kind of crawled your way here. It seems like. Okay.
Mhm. Like
So
I
you.
said, I was deep, deep down, and I was right next to the Lord, you know,
Mm,
and
mm.
yeah.
It's well, so the image I get is that they were actually transporting you. They're still transporting dense entities to the Black Ooze fields, even with what's going on. They're still sending them to the Black Ooze field.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah. They're the ones that are like not want to give up, not ready to give up, like they're fighting until the end and like they're 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 hopeful.
Why do you
They're
find it
so
so funny?
dumb. Because they're so dumb, because this is something that we were teaching the consciousness, and they fell into their own trap of hopefulness. They're so dumb. Like they believe their own
Mm,
lies. Like hopefulness, like
mm,
what is one of the big weapons that we use, and now they're the one being hopeful that they can
hmm.
turn things around. But you
Yeah.
know how it is with hope.
Oh
There
yeah, I
is
know how
always
it is with hope.
a
You know
lingering
what's going to
hope.
happen to you? I already gave you the deal, but
Mhm.
you're going to get a little punishment also.
Oh, yeah, I was
Oh,
expecting
yeah,
that.
well, yeah, because you seem like you were having too much fun being
Yeah,
evil.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
punishment.
okay,
Yeah. And I'm going
okay.
to actually elicit some of those who you punish to punish you. How about that, huh? You still get the deal.
Oh,
It's better
oh, oh,
than getting punishment for eternity.
oh, there would be a lot of people to punish me. But I
Mm.
guess if this is what I have to go through, then I have to, even if I don't want to, I have to. Okay,
Of
okay, okay.
course. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, well, make peace with yourself because this is what's going to happen to you. Yeah, it's just a little bit too much. And I think for me to give you the deal when you just seem to just think that, well, the reality of the matter is, you know that the Univian is the one who's responsible for everyone being a fool. Are you aware
Oh,
of
yeah.
that? You're aware of
Yeah,
that?
yeah, I know that. I know that. Yeah, like I
Yeah.
said, I've been working very closely with him,
Hmm.
and I've seen what he has built, and I've seen what he has done, and I've seen what he has created here, and yeah, yeah, I've seen all of that. I witnessed all of that, but there is a point where you can just not turn around anymore, and then you just
Hmm.
go with it, and you think there's no other way than that way.
Hmm.
So yeah.
So you've been with him for quite a while then.
Yeah, I would say like for um like let me see, like 7 planet consciousness maybe. Yeah, like this is at least this is how far my memory goes. Like maybe as you
Hmm.
know that all the memories of everyone is a little bit muddy. So like, there are not many who, like, remember the exact well, if you wanna measure it in time, the exact time when they come here, because your
Mhm.
memory gets at some point muddy and fuzzy, and then you don't, or you do,
Well,
or you don't fully
mhm.
remember.
Well, isn't time more or less an illusion that is a construct of yin of yin? Because I noticed,
Yes,
yeah, you said yes?
yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
because
Yeah.
I noticed that you use the number of missions to destroy planets as a
Yeah.
way of counting, I guess, in a sense, counting time. So from your memory, then I would say Dunia, Gaia Earth is number 8 on the list that you can remember, or she's 7? She's 8.
Uh, she is number 7.
Is number 7.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you said that there were those that you punished of the dense. I would say there would be dense hierarchy that you had the permission to punish, correct as well,
Yes, yes,
because they're the
yes.
ones who made certain decisions on their own, and they thought that that
Yeah.
Yin of Yin would be okay. Now,
Yeah.
did Yin of Yin, was he okay with the kidnapping of Dunia?
Oh yeah, yeah, of course. Yeah, it was his choice. Like everything was his choice. Like we would never move to another planet consciousness or make big moves like that without consulting with him. Like he would, like he would not anyone else let make those big decisions. Like because like in the past, some tried, and he was like, "Nope, that's not what I've been telling you. That's not the plan." And he would never let anyone make those type of decisions. So yeah, it was his
So he
plan.
did
He
make a
laid it out
decision.
all.
Okay, because I
Yeah.
had gotten some information. It was a while ago, so who knows? I guess it was corrupted. That he didn't know that the attack on the Sirius B solar system was going to happen. But you're saying that he did know.
And Series B.
Well, isn't that where
Mm,
Dunia is from originally? In other words, you may not know it as Sirius B, but in other words, the attack on the particular, you're familiar with solar systems, of course.
well, we don't. I don't think that we call them like that. Solar systems. Like it does not ring like a bell. Maybe we use another name. But
How about sectors?
oh yeah, 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 yeah,
Okay, so the sector that Dunia, Earth, Gaia,
yeah,
came from
yeah.
had other planets as well, correct?
It did, yeah, yeah, it did, yeah. But the plan was to take over Dunia. Yeah, that was the plan, as far as I know. Because
Oh,
otherwise, why would be here? Like I don't. I mean, I cannot imagine that. Like Yin would like let anyone else make the decision on what are the planet consciousness to go next
mm,
to and take over. Like, I mean. I was not there all the time when he was making this, but this is how I knew him. Like he was the one making the calls, and he would not let anyone else do that. So I I mean, it might be a
mhm.
possibility, but I can just not imagine it. Like
Well,
that
I
someone
pretty
else
much
make that call.
well, I pretty
Like
much believe your take on it because he
who
was an
would be the
egomaniac.
one? But who would be the one making that decision then? Like it must have been like maybe someone like he didn't trust anyone. Like
Mhm.
um
Okay.
yeah, I wouldn't know who else would be able to make that decision, and that would actually mean that would follow someone else's choice, someone else's decision. Like he was not that.
Yes, I was
Like
very much aware of
mm,
that. But in other words, when you punished those individuals who were part of the hierarchy, who decided they were going to do things on their own, what kind of things did they do? Just a couple of examples or one example, would be good enough. I
well,
imagine.
well, exactly. That would be like an example, like making bold moves and being like, this is what we're gonna do next, and being like, this is where we're gonna go next, or
Mhm.
being like, "Hey, how about we tell this lie? How about we spread this disease?" Like, that was not like any major decision that someone wanted to make that Univian was like,
Mm.
nope, we're not gonna do that. And yeah, to be honest, sometimes he thought that someone else was making a good decision, but his ego was so big that he was never going to go with that decision. Like he
Okay.
would I know, like he would rather die than admit that someone else had a better idea than
Well,
him. Like
yeah, because in reality, he looked down upon everyone else. Is that the
absolutely,
deal?
absolutely. Yeah, like he
Yeah.
hated everyone,
Okay.
every single one. Yeah.
All right. Well, there's times that there's information that comes through that may not be correct, and that information came through before I started giving deals and giving out punishment. Well, I was giving out plenty of punishment, but I wasn't giving out the deal. And I would say that from what you're telling me, it makes more sense to me that he made all the decisions. And if anyone, okay, you said so, it wasn't like decisions that these others would make having to do with let's invade this sector or anything. It had to do with just certain things having to do with after these sectors were invaded. They make some
Yeah.
decisions as to what they're going to introduce as part of the torture or part of spreading
Yeah,
disease,
like
whatever you call.
like, imagine like that, like, Yunavin was, like, the big boss. He would make, like, the major decision, like, what planet are we going next to? What is the
Mhm.
next big lie? What is the like, how do we, construct the matrix? What changes are we going to make? And
Mhm.
then he would give, like, the lower ones jobs to
Mhm.
finish the job, like tasks to finish the job, and he
Mhm.
didn't care how they were doing it. He just wanted to see the results. So on
Okay.
how they would do the job, like this
Okay.
is like where when he thought that they capable of, which he never thought that anyone was capable of, like to finish
Mhm.
the job as to his
Okay.
standard, but he
Okay.
would let them make
Okay. So I
like
have a question though, while you're
yeah.
going at it. Um, there is what it reminds me of what he was doing, and you're familiar with the media that Univian and Disney puts out here on this planet. You're familiar with that, are you?
Yeah, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Now there's a particular show. Um, I would say that even shows like Star Trek was very much influenced by density. Everything in media is influenced by density, of course. Is that correct?
Correct.
Now
Yes.
there was a particular series of Star Trek where they had a group called the Borg. Are you familiar with that?
Um,
It's in other
no,
words said it is one of their taglines was it is futile to resist or something like that. In other words, you will be assimilated is what was one of the taglines. Also, when they would invade
oh,
a sector, they would assimilate everyone that they caught into the Borg.
We are the Borg. Lower your shields and surrender your ships. We will add your biological and technological distinctiveness to our own. Your culture will adapt to service us. Resistance is futile.
I remember. Yeah.
So that I understand is part of one of what he was doing as well. He was assimilating all these individuals, so that
Mhm.
even on Dunia, most who are here aren't originally from Dunia, Earth, Gaia.
Correct.
They're transplanted from other sectors that he had basically attacked, and he assimilated them and then planted them here to basically be something of a virus.
Yeah, if you want to call it like that, yeah. Like, I mean, this is how like density of virus behaves. Like, go somewhere, suck out all the energy, destroy everything, um, and then go to the next one.
Yeah,
Like,
sounds very much like the Borg is based loosely on Yenivian, except you don't see
uh,
Yenivian. It's in other words,
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah,
they're assimilated, but you never see the head guy. You never see Yenivian.
exactly. Like
Yes.
the one represented in the movie was not Yennefer, it was his little workers. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay. Well, I think that I have as much information as as for what from you right now. You do have to
Oh,
deal,
yeah,
but
thank
you will
you.
have to deal with the period of punishment. And then once you
Oh,
deal with the period of punishment, we will put you to work, and that's okay. You'll feel a lot better once we get you to working. But all
oh,
the laughing over what you've done to others,
oh.
come on, really, you deserve a little something.
Yeah, yeah, like, yeah, yeah, I mean, yeah,
Okay.
I've done a lot of bad things,
Okay.
so,
So
uh,
I'm going to let you go and to the room, and my things will set you up for what needs to be done. And to tell you the truth, even with the punishment, it's worth your while, obviously, to take the deal, and you already realize that. So I'm going to go back to my interview with Miss Beauty.
hello, I'm
Oh,
back.
okay, you're there. Okay.
Yes, I'm
So
here.
you had told me some really interesting things about what you were doing
Mhm.
before you had gotten the deal, having to do with individuals coming to you and making deals with you for beauty.
Yes, yes, yes. So many people will come. I like, it is unbelievable how many people are so much into their beauty or so much into the beauty of other people, and they put it like high up there, like that's their first and highest and most priority. It's so many people are influenced by that.
Hmm.
In terms of density, you would say I did a fantastic job. But now being on the other side, I'm like, oh my goodness,
Hmm.
what have I done? Mm.
Okay. So you were proud of your work, it sounds like.
Again, in terms of density, like one would be proud
Hmm.
of creating such a big sector that was um, getting so much essence out of the
Hmm.
consciousness. But
Hmm.
again, now that I'm slowly moving to the other side, I see the damage that I've been doing.
Yes. Now, it sounds as though the what you were doing was obviously what I guess everyone who's working within the dense matrix, they're supporting the matrix by whatever it is that they're doing. And so, just to clarify, how would they get in touch with you to get the deal for beauty? Is it the same way that some will, pray to some religious figure, or some individuals would pledge allegiance to some so-called satanic figure or something like that?
There are different ways. Like when I started out, it was more the other way around. Like there was a lot of convincing to do and a lot of like work to do. But with time, as beauty became more and more and more important, I would say, things changed. And the way how they would contact me, well, towards the end, no one would directly contact me. I would have all my workers that would go out and they would contact them. But it would be like through witches that were out there or through people that I would put out there. It would be, I think I mentioned it in the last session, through the occupation so called doctors, like
Hmm.
surgeon, beauty doctors, anything
Hmm.
that where you can go, any company that you can go, any beauty store that you can go, like I had everywhere my little workers. And then yeah, through prayer, through hopelessness, through like wishes and visions and all that, I had a little sector of that, but it was very small, because people would not necessarily worship anyone for beauty that much as they would go to someone to get the beauty. So I
Hmm.
had everywhere my workers, in beauty salons, and again, like anywhere where you can be beautiful, like
Hmm.
hairdressers, like nail technicians, like the place where you can get like Botox or straight up, yeah, doctors who would
Yes, in
change
other words, yeah,
supposedly your
plastic
face. But
surgery.
yeah,
Uh,
yes.
Now, as far as like, okay, with Now, for some reason, I feel that some aspect of that reminds me of when someone, like I said earlier, will make a deal with so-called the devil, which,
Mhm.
I mean, the whole concept of devil is pretty much, there's not really one individual who is a devil.
No, 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 no,
Yeah,
no.
there's
Like
like
there,
this entities
and,
playing various
and
roles.
yeah, and anyone could play the role of a devil. Like really,
Yeah.
like you said, there's not one devil. There are thousands of devils. Yeah.
Mhm. Because also, if you, in other words, could someone make a deal with you for beauty and then, think that that's going to make them so-called successful in the matrix, matrix successful, like,
Hmm.
money and, and fame and all that. And
Hmm.
now, have you given deals to those who didn't get an okay from those who consider to be Satanists and they call themselves other things in different countries, who
Hmm.
will basically say, okay, you make the deal with us and we'll make you monopoly rich.
Hmm.
Have you ever given the deal to someone who thought that by getting that deal they were going to become monopoly rich, but because of the, for the lack of a better word, the satanic hierarchy didn't want to give them the deal, they just end up being beautiful with nothing? That ever the
Mm,
case?
um, if I understand you correctly, I don't think so. Because like the consciousness has to ask specifically for something, and then
Mhm.
they have to put the work, and
Mhm.
then they get a little bit. Like if they don't wish for beauty, they won't get it. If they wish for being rich and being beautiful, yeah, I in the past I have been working with those that you call Satanists. We've been
Mhm.
working together because it was benefiting the both of us.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, but like you said, like giving beauty without the Satanists giving them like the money that they also wanted. Hmm. I I'm not sure actually. I'm not gonna say no.
Mhm.
Um, because sometimes I don't know what the Satanists are doing. They're not like an open book to me.
Okay.
So yeah, maybe might have happened, but yeah, no.
So, so how did your, in other words, what do we call it? How did aging affect what you do? In other words, when the mealworm or the human ages, most
Mm.
times their beauty fades.
Yes, yes. It would just add like a different stress and panic layer to it. So the older the you call them mealworms, the older they would get, the more they were willing to sacrifice.
Hmm.
Like they would not be able to put as much work as younger ones.
Hmm.
But they would come with a sacrifiction, like, would be like,
Hmm.
"Oh, I still wanna be beautiful, but my body cannot do the same thing, blah, 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 blah. Here
Hmm.
is someone that I wanna sacrifice, take their energy, please give me more beauty." But yeah, it was a big, big stress. It still is a big stress factor, and, the age of when people are being or getting stressed about their fading beauty is getting lower and lower and lower. While at some point it was like you would get stressed out when you were 50 and being like, oh my God, I'm getting old, all this wrinkled and white hair. And like, I don't look like I used to with 40. And now, I don't know if you have been noticing,
Well,
but
you,
people as
so the
young as
whole,
20
the,
are
yeah.
already
So,
white.
okay, so the whole process of aging is an
Mhm.
introduction by yin again.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
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 yeah.
because it's like, a visual representation of like, "Oh, you're going well, in the Matrix, you're going to die one day."
Mhm.
I guess it's a visual representation of what actually happens on the other side if, um basically, like, this is where you like See, Yennevian, this is where you're going, and there's nothing you can do. So, black ooze or death is the end of the road for everyone. Well, except
Mhm,
for him.
mhm.
Um, and yeah, it's just a visual representation of what happens
So,
on the other side.
so in other words, when you give them the beauty, that's something that is finite, and it's finite. It's not an infinite thing. In other words, it will
No.
fade over time, having to do with the process of aging. Would you
Yes,
say that?
yes. I mean, as soon as you're in an avatar, like there's definitely an end to it. There are some that manage to keep their avatar for a bit longer, but
Mhm.
like the end of it is getting old and wrinkly and ugly, and like beauty is fading, and then the body of the avatar is giving up at some point, and you're going to transition. And
So,
yeah.
so even with that, then that's just another part of what you do, where when they start to, in other words, their beauty starts to fade. As you
Hmm.
were, I think, as you were saying, that's another, I guess, crop of essence, for the lack of a better word for it. But
Hmm.
you start to get even more essence when their beauty starts to fade, or a different
Yeah.
type of essence.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, definitely a different type of essence, because before they did not have the beauty. Before it was just
Mm,
some longing. Before it was just like lack of self confidence, and well, if you want to call it self love.
mm,
But once they have the beauty, it's like an addiction to the beauty. It's an addiction to
mm.
the lifestyle that comes with the beauty, and it's
So,
definitely. More stress, more panic, more fear. It's just, yeah, once they had
so
it, they don't want to give up.
there are those who get beauty and they become very arrogant.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah,
so when
absolutely.
their beauty starts to fade, then you get I would say that they would actually release even more essence than someone who was less arrogant about their beauty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely, definitely. It is like, those who get arrogant, there are, like, different types of people, like, those who get arrogant and think they're on top of the world and they can do anything, and they don't need anyone anymore because they have their beauty, and
Mm,
sometimes they even think they don't need me. They get that,
mhm.
or they got that arrogant, and
Yeah.
then I would show them, what it means to not
Mm,
need me for
mm.
their beauty. And
So,
then were those that were so arrogant, but they were still like working with me, but because they still remembered where they got their beauty from.
mhm, mhm.
Yeah.
Now, are there those who actually make secret altars to you?
Yeah, 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 definitely. Yeah.
Hmm.
Some see me like some type of like god figure.
Hmm.
Um, they make altars, and they have like meetings with others where they I don't know, I would say like praying to me. I don't know what's up with that, but yeah, they would definitely make altars and bring people in and be like, let's pray to her, let's thank her for her beauty, and let's always remember who she is and what she did for us.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, with all that, then what do you think about the whole concept of God being a god or gods? Is that a construct of density as well?
Yeah, I mean, of course, yeah. Like, well, the concept of God is that someone else created you and someone else gives you everything you need. While we all know that consciousness has everything they need on their own, like they don't need anyone else to
Hmm.
give them anything. And that's the whole concept of God, is like someone else that you don't see, or something else that you don't see, gives you everything that you want and that you need, which, well, really? You need
Hmm.
beauty, like you need money, like you need a car, and you don't
Hmm.
need all of that. But it's one of the big lies that has been told to consciousness, that the things that you want or that you think you want, someone else is going to get them for you because you're
Okay.
not capable of getting them yourself, which, yeah, again, is a
Okay. Now,
lie.
so you would say that beauty is subjective. Well, in other
Mhm.
words, that the beauty depends on whatever the culture that that particular individual is experiencing.
Mhm. Well,
So,
we
various
create
cultures have
cultures,
different
so
concepts of beauty,
yeah,
correct?
like we create cultures, and we tell them what is beautiful and what is not. So yeah, it's whatever, wherever they are, whatever culture or whoever they look up to. Sometimes it's also we put um, like our little workers out there, and we tell them what concept of beauty they're supposed to spread, and
Hmm.
then see how many people we or they get to follow them. So it's, if you wanna call it like a trap, whatever trap they fall
Hmm.
into, because sometimes
Hmm.
there are individuals who are within a culture, but they don't, assimilate to that culture, but they look to like a celebrity and
Hmm.
look up to them for them to tell them what's beauty and what's not. So
So,
yeah.
so in essence, now the whole concept of culture is that a this entity construct culture?
Most of it, yeah, 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 of course. Like everything here is promoted by the density. Everything here is controlled by the density. Yeah, like also the concept of culture. Like density would tell them what the culture is and what they're supposed to do and how they're supposed to live and what they're supposed to think and how they're supposed to dress and all that. It's all,
So, in other
yeah,
words, we're saying that density creates so the concept of culture. That
yeah,
people believe
because
that it's their culture, when in reality, it is something that has been basically, I guess, thrown to them. I wouldn't say given, but thrown to them by
yeah,
density, and tells
yeah,
them that
because
this is your identity, and there's this group you are. And with that, I guess, with what you do, you're just a support system for what density does. But
mm,
with these separate cultures, they inevitably create friction between others. In other words, he gives this group a concept of a
yes.
culture, and then he gives this other group a different concept of a culture, and then so on and so forth. And then
Mhm.
he'll plop them right next to one another, and then see them fight it out.
Exactly.
Is
Yeah.
what we define culture.
Culture is separating. Like culture is not unifying as some might think.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, it's to cause friction, to be proud of your culture, to think the other culture is weird,
Hmm.
to compete against each other within a culture, to hate each other.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's all divide and conquer.
Oh,
Or
okay.
the
So that,
theme.
but that advertising program that I've seen for decades with hands across the world, that would be considered bogus, would you say? In other words, that
Hands
all these
across.
cultures, getting together and and all kumbayaing it, and we all like each other, and we get
Oh,
along. That is never the case. That's not the intention of density. Am I correct or am I wrong?
no, you're absolutely correct. Like the intention is not to get everyone together. The intention is to make them so different from one another that sometimes they don't even understand one another. Like
Hmm.
there are cultures that are so different from one another that people are
Hmm.
like, how can they live like that?
Hmm.
So they don't understand one another. They will never come together because they're so far apart, or there
Hmm.
is so much hate
Hmm.
between them that coming together is never. It was
It's
not
sort of
in the
like an
plan.
inside joke for those on the other side. They know that that'll never work, or that'll never be.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. Yeah, because it would cause more stress. Like they're the ones who are maybe trying or who pretend they're trying for whatever reason they're pretending they're trying, but
Hmm.
it causes frustration
Hmm.
to them. So that's also another way to get more essence because then they're the ones who are trying to bring cultures together, but it will never work out. And
Yeah.
then there are clashes and so on and so forth. Yeah.
So even if there was, as you're saying, there are those who actually buy into it, that they can all these cultures can get along with one another. Um, excuse me. And then density will send in someone to upset that and trigger the. Go ahead.
Actually, sometimes it's even the other way around. Like there are like the little spies out there who put that idea into people's mind
Mhm.
and be like, hey, let's unify. Like they put that lie into everyone. They try to get everyone to unify. And then they kind of inspire or convince others to
Mhm.
go along with that, to try to unify. It's rarely that there are people who, let's say, are still have some light in them and
Mhm.
still want to unify. They don't do it on a big level, like unifying cultures. Those
Mhm.
are more in smaller groups. Like they want to
Mhm.
unify maybe those 5 people with those other 5 peoples, but not
Mhm.
big cultures. The
Okay.
unifying idea of big cultures, that's the spies that walk around and spread that
Mhm.
crazy idea, and everyone
Mhm.
just goes with it and follows.
So in essence, the smaller groups can end up melding their so-called cultures together if they're a smaller group and getting along. In other words, getting along, or am I
No, no,
wrong?
no, 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 no.
No.
There's always like there's always someone who will destroy that, who will
Mhm.
destroy the plan. Like when we see that someone is trying to unify even like a small group of like 10 people, like we put in number 11 there, and number 11 causes stress to
Mhm.
break up that unification so that
Mhm.
something like that will never happen. Because if a small group can do that, it can inspire others, and it might
Mhm.
bring cracks in the memory and the story, how beautiful it was to be unified. And
Mhm.
we made sure that that never happened, that
So
unification is not a thing, not working.
then the bottom line is that there's no benefit to have something like that. There's no benefit in peace for density because peace does not generate essence for density.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Can you hold for a second? What are we doing on time?
And 42.
How long have we been on?
42 minutes.
We've been 42 minutes. Would you mind continuing this conversation at a later date?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Because but I found this interview with you to be extremely interesting and very informative, and I appreciate the participation.
Yeah. Thank you so much. It was fun, and
Thank
I'm
you.
happy that I can help out here.
Okay, and we'll wrap it up for now, and I will talk to you later. I hope that you find it interesting. Thank you.